let's unbox my latest father fish order. The box came in perfect condition. And let's see what we got. Oh, helps if I cut it all the way through. I will just go over this later. This will be blocked out, but you can see the stuff that I ordered. Also included is a guide to aquascaping. Check that out. Should definitely need that. This is awesome. Then we've got another father fish sticker. I love these. And it's always packaged in this foam that keeps everything safe. So let's see what we got. We got the narrow chain swords. Aren't these beautiful? You can actually see they're starting to bud out. And then I believe this is the next pack of the Amazon swords. Aren't those beautiful? And don't worry if they're a little melted, they'll bounce back. As long as that's intact, you don't have to worry. And then the stem package. Check that out. This is a lot of plants. I mean a lot of plants. I'm not going to open these right this moment because I'm going to wait and show you what they look like in the aquarium. This is my 75-gallon father fish tank that I'll be building today. I got all the instructions and the formula for how to build it off the Father Fish Discord. You can check that out in the link below in the description. There's a father fish calculator that tells you the exact amount of everything needed. So let's get started on the first steps. Well, the next step is to add the compost and soil mixture, which has a little bit of manure in it. So, see if I can get in here with my bucket. And we're just going to get this dumped in there. It's quite a lot because this is a 75-gallon. If I remember, hopefully I will add the measurements for everything as I do this to the video. So, you just dump this in. This has been pre-soaked. You can pre-soak it for 2 days, 2 hours. Mine, I just left it soaking for, I think it was 4 days. Whoa. There we go. And you see how it's kind of like a mud pie consistency? That's what you want. Now you want to get all that good stuff out. It is going to smell, but that's not a problem because once you sand cap it, it won't smell. So let's see if I can get it over here and get the good stuff out. After this, we'll be adding the peat moss. You can add different types of mosses, but I'm using peat moss because it's what's readily available in my area. I just went to the hardware store, got a small bag, and it was kind of neat because the small bag I got was the perfect amount for this size tank, which made me really, really happy. If you want to get all that loose stuff out. All right, let's take this outside and start on the next step. Now I'm adding the peat moss. See if I can get it up in here. The peat moss also has been soaking for a few days, which means it's got all the water soaked up in it and has a really nice consistency. You want to get all of that out. Ooh, it's kind of heavy. And after that, we're going to mix in the supplement. But first, we got to get all of this out of the bucket. And using the Father Fish Soil Calculator for the soil substrate, that gets you the exact amount of everything you need. I highly recommend that to anybody making a Father Fish tank, because it just makes everything simpler. You don't have to do the math. You just tell it what size fish tank you have, and bam, you got everything you need. Once we mix the supplement in, then we'll add the sand cap, which will probably take a while because I'm doing this myself, and the filter sand, I'm just using pool filter sand, is pretty heavy. So I'm not even going to try to pick that up. I'm just going to add a few cupfuls at a time, get the sand built the way I want it, and then we'll go from there. All right, I got all the peat moss. So right now, that's what we've got. So time to mix all that up, add the supplement, and we'll go from there. Now I have the peat moss and soil and compost spread so that it's 1 inch across the whole bottom of the tank. The next step is adding the supplement. For this size tank, I will need 1.5 to 3 cups of supplement. So I'm going to be adding 3 cups to it today, just lightly sprinkled over it, and I'll probably mix it back in. But I wanted to show you what it looks like. The dirt on the sides, I will wipe that down, but that's what we got so far. Now, since it's 3 cups of supplement, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle it on 1/3, each cup on 1/3 of the tank. Just get it all in there. I'm gonna mix it back up into it, but I figured this would be the easiest way. So I'm gonna pour another cup, and I'll be back in a minute. All I'm doing to mix it up is just this right here. I've got gloves on just in case there is any small cuts on my hands, and you won't get infected. Because you are dealing with cow manure and different natural ingredients that are not bad in of themselves, but if you have a cut, you do not want to get that in it. So as you can see, it's really easy to mix in, especially when it's this mud pie consistency. Just gonna get it all back down flat. Just gonna put that really flat. And there we go. Now for the next step, which is adding 2 inches of sand. I may add a little bit of extra sand if I have enough, but we'll see. Now, time to add 2 inches of pool filter sand. Now, I'm not rinsing my sand because, in all honesty, that is 96 pounds of sand I would need to rinse. So, I'm not doing it. And it'll end up fine. But, I know a lot of people like to rinse their sand. I really don't see the need in it because this is just good pool filter sand. It's actually already got moisture in it. And as thick as it is, look how thick these granules are. I don't think it needs it. So no sense in guessing you guys watching me add each one of these things one at a time. So we'll be back when I get done. Okay, this is what one 50-pound bag of pool filter sand looks like. Still got one more bag to go. And yes, I forgot to get Some of the soil off the side, I'll get that. I'm not really worried about it. But so far, so good. Still got another 50-pound bag to go. I'm probably just going to put the whole 50-pound bag again, because it's all right if there's a little bit of extra sand. It's not going to hurt anything. But I want to have a really good, deep sand substrate. That way, there's no problems. The more sand, the better. The easiest way I found for working with these big bags of sand, because they are wet sand, it is heavy, and yes, you're gonna get sand all over your floor if you're clumsy like me, but that's okay. Vacuum cleaner will fix it. Is to take a knife, turn it on its side. You gotta kind of rock it to make sure it's not gonna fall over, and then just cut along the top like that. Get a good opening. Because these things are so heavy that I cannot just pick them up and dump them in there. I'm using a little measuring cup from the kitchen. All it takes is a little bit of soap and water, clean it up, no problem. And then just fill it and put it in there. But as you can see, this sand is really coarse. I mean, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up. It's very coarse sand. And that'll provide a lot of area for beneficial bacteria to grow. So I'm going to add this next 50-pound bag of sand, and then we'll see what we got. This is what 100 pounds of pool filter sand looks like in a tank. Now I'm going to add a little bit extra sand in the back to create a sloping effect. Also, the sand here I'm going to push back just a little bit. So I'm probably going to end up with probably about 120 pounds of sand, but it'll be worth it because it'll create a sloping effect that'll help with my aquascape. So when I get done with that, you guys can see what I've done. Okay, in the back, I created some areas to help support the rocks with sand so that they're not touching the glass. But these are just rocks that my husband found when he was a kid in Tennessee. And I've cleaned them off and we moved them all into here, and so far, so good. I don't know if I'm gonna move the rocks yet, but that is looking so natural. So you can see, let me see if I can find it there. You can see how there's little natural valleys in there. I'm trying to think of how a natural riverbed would look. So, this is what we got so far. It could change. I don't know yet. Okay, I've got the rocks in where I want them. Cool thing is I didn't need to glue any of them. The way I've got the sand stacked, it seems to work. My plan is to plant the stem plants in between the crevices so that it kind of looks like you're looking at a river. So, I'm going to show you how to pour the water in. Down here, you have bubble wrap. Pretty much anything you order, it comes with bubble wrap. Now, what you have to do is take the water, move this closer. I'm using just a gallon jug, which is going to take forever, but it's better than trying to run the water hose in the house. And I'm just going to pour it over the bubble wrap. You pour slow, and it shouldn't mix anything up. And it doesn't make those crevices where the water's hitting. So far I've only got 3 gallons in here, but this is all you do. I'm going to fill it up with water a little bit before I plant the plants. That way I can just get a good idea of what I'm doing. Well, once I get it to the right level, I'll come back. I am going to put the mixed swords in here. If I can get the back of them. It might take me a little longer than expected to get the back of them. There we go. I'm just going to let them float. I'm going to throw them right in here and just let them float for tonight. the next plant that I'm going to soak for tonight is the narrow chainsword. Check those babies out. I'm just gonna set them in there and let them soak. Actually, I think I'm gonna move those to the other side. That way I can do the stem package and lay it all right here and you can see what you get. And now for the stem package. This is a $250 value worth of plants. You get all kinds. Let's get these in the water. Now remember, sometimes leaves will actually grow, loose leaves can grow roots. I've actually had that happen. I'm not sure which species of plant it was. So, my advice is any of the leaves that look healthy, well that one might do it. That fall off, put them in a resurrection jar, see what happens. It's kind of a fun thing to do. The plants are in little bunches. See? There's a little bunch. There's a bunch. Go through and look at all these bunches. I don't know the names of all these plants, sadly, because I may be psycho plant lady, but I'm new to aquatic plants. So, oh, look at that one. I love this one. I don't know what it is, but I love this one. We'll just float these in here for tonight. Let them get rehydrated. And then tomorrow I'll work on planting them. See, here's another bunch. Oh, I love this one. Okay, this one's my favorite. I love the pink plants. Then we got this one. Oh, I know what this is, but I can't remember the name of it. And we got this one. There's a lot of different plants in here. I mean, look at all these plants. If you used to try to buy these at a pet store or an aquarium shop, this would, no joke, easily be $250 worth of plants. Want to get them all nice and separated. They can get as much water in there as possible. And see how this one is broke off? Don't throw these parts away, because guess what? It can still grow roots. It's about 3 inches long. That means that it can still grow roots. I've seen some that's just grown from just the leaves. So, sorry about knocking the camera. It's kind of hard to reach this. All right. So we'll check back tomorrow. And, oops, I need to make sure that those stems are in there. And we'll go from there. Oh, and one last thing before I get started on this tomorrow is it's about, I don't know, about 10:30 at night. I've got about that much water in there. And you can see how it's not very cloudy. This side over here is more cloudy than this side. And it's because I used the bubble wrap. If I remember in the morning, I will do a video showing how that's cleared up. This is my new 75-gallon father fish tank. It turned out amazing. This is one stem package, 4 mixed assorted swords, my large Amazon sword in the center, a few little moss logs for shrimp to hide in the future, and a little bit of pony's foot from my front yard. Just running a test with those. So you can see just how much space in a 75-gallon tank that there is. One stem plant package did awesome for this. Now keep in mind, with stem plants, they will grow and grow. When you trim them, they'll grow. They'll just come back. All of these plants will one day turn into multiple plants, because when I trim them, I'll plant them and there'll be even more plants. You really can't have too many plants in your tank. All of these photos will show the different angles of the plants, all the different types of plants. I wish I knew the names, but sadly,
I'm not that good yet. Right here you can see some rocks and some of the pink plants. And a little bit of pony's foot. The Amazon sword is looking gorgeous. And these sponge filters, I got a really good deal on those on Amazon. If you go to get sponge filters, check there. Here you can see some of the moss that's growing on the rock. Hopefully that'll transition over and be aquatic. Don't know yet. But I've also got some lava rock stacked in the side too. And this is a really good picture that shows how I'm trying to hide the heater with the plants. Hopefully that idea will work. This is my first time having a heater this huge. Rocks also help to hold down the sponge filter. Overall, this has turned into a gorgeous father fish tank, and I look forward to giving you guys even more updates in the future on it. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to find out where I got these amazing plants from. The plants that I used in my 75-gallon were from the Father Fish Stem Plant Package. These plants do not require chemical fertilizers or CO2 injections, which is the main reason I love the Father Fish method, aside from the fact that it's really simple. In this package, you'll get 15 bunches with 4 to 5 plants per bunch, and there are 15 different species. They're guaranteed to be 100% healthy and cost $59. Now, if you went to the pet shop and bought these plants individually, they would be $250 or more. I love these plants, and my fish love these plants. So if you're looking for some really healthy plants to get going and you're a beginner or experienced fish keeper, you can't go wrong with the Father Fish Stem Plant Package. The Father Fish supplement is the key to keeping a natural father fish aquarium. The supplement contains 11 ingredients in one and is enough to fill a 100-gallon fish tank, or multiple small tanks in case you have multiple tank syndrome. It actually helps and aids the plants in so many ways and gives them the micronutrients that they need to thrive for years. Father Fish has a fish tank that's over 20 years old and is thriving because of these supplements. Now, these you do have to mix, but Father Fish also offers an alternative if you're kind of nervous about mixing the soil yourself. If you feel intimidated about mixing everything together for your fish tank, Father Fish has you covered. He has pre-mixed soil. It's the complete substrate for your fish tank, which contains a lot of ingredients, everything you need. It's got the supplement, it's got the soil, it's got black cow fertilizer, it's got everything. All you have to do is pre-soak it and cap it with sand and you're done. This is really a very easy way for beginners. No measurements. Now it comes in 3 sizes. It comes in the 55-gallon, the 25-gallon, and the 10-gallon. It has all the instructions you need and everything. If you're nervous about trying the Father Fish method, I highly recommend his 10-gallon fish tank soil. This soil deal is $29.95 and could easily do a 10-gallon tank. All you do is dump it in, cap it with 2 inches of pool filter sand, and test out the method for yourself. See how it goes. Personally, I've found that my fish tanks that I've converted or built in the Father Fish method, they're way less maintenance. It's way easier. He pretty much takes the headache and the heartache out of fish keeping. So, give it a try. This is the longest video that I have ever made, but it was needed to cover all the details. So thank you for staying with me to the end. Hope to see you guys Sunday night and Wednesday night on Father Fish's live stream. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.